I did it. I got my father on Linux. I'm glad to see that finally my dad opened his eyes and he's on Linux Mint. Yeah, I had to do a little bit of upgrading to his computer, just a little bit. It was one of them pre-built jobs with locked OS. Well, not locked OS. What do you call it? A semi-locked BIOS, so I couldn't update his CPU. But I was actually able to put in a video card. I was able to put in a sound card and upgrade the RAM. So I got 8 gigs of RAM, and this just shows how old it is. It had DDR2 RAM, but yeah, that was a Intel Pentium D 9 something CPU. I think it was like a 940 something or 920 something, 930 something, or 9 something. I didn't even think to do a video when I was working on the darn thing, because I was sitting there thinking, well, my darn computer's not hooked up and all. They ain't gonna be able to see nothing. I completely forgot I could do it with my phone. I completely forgot I could do it with my phone. In all honesty, I hope my dad does enjoy it, because I got him on Linux Mint Mate, or Mate, or however you wish to say it. But I got him on Linux Mint. I got him for the most part set up. I got his background set up the way he wants, or the way he likes it. The new video card I got for him was like 20 bucks. The memory was like 17 something, 18. The sound card I put in was free because I basically gave it to him. Because Linux Mint Mate did not support the sound card that was in his computer, apparently. That or when I plugged in the video card, the dang thing died, one or the other. Because something happened. Something. I don't know why it just stopped working audio-wise. I could have swore the audio was working, but no, my stupid ass, I might have been on Windows when I was tinkering with it and forgot. But it was a really old board, so I put him a little cheap, rinky-dink, creative sound card in and got him up and running. He's able to hear his videos, he's able to watch his videos, he's able to do whatever he wants on his internet. I got him on Brave, I got him on Firefox, either one he can choose. I need to set Firefox up for him someday, but I need to do a darn list out of all the stuff I use on Firefox. That way I can set him up on that. But yeah, I got my dad on Linux, and so far he's been happy. His printer works. Everything for the most part works that he needs to do, and it was for the most part free. At least the operating system was. So my dad went and said, because I'm so good working with computers, maybe I ought to start a business. Working on computers, fixing them and all, because I'm good with my hands and all. But I honestly don't know. with me not having a darn job, I guess I could try it. Because most of what's going to be now is people going to be wanting to update to 11 and not going to be able to update to 11, which means that I could go the route where, I bypass, the lockout or whatever and do Windows 11 on, or not, do Windows 11 on there. Or I can sit there and rewrite Windows over with, whatever that Windows 10 version is that's got up to like 2032. But plain and simple, that one right there probably will work fine, the support for it. But the Windows 11 route, forcing it to install and all, that's not a good route to go. The reason I say it's not a good route to go is because of one major reason. Well, more than one reason. It's unofficially supported. Going that route would probably be detrimental because in the long run, the darn customer's going to be pissed because one darn day their stuff's not going to work. If by some chance one of their kids comes over and says, they go, "Mommy, Daddy, I want to sit there and play, something on there." They'll have a problem. They won't be able to update. They won't be able to update Windows after a certain point. They won't be able, because see, for example, I've seen where people have installed or forced installed on, let's say 22. Was it Windows 11 22.1 or something like that, and then they couldn't update to 22.2. So that would be a really bad day, because then it basically is that you have to rewrite all over again with something to overwrite it, which means they'll probably lose the data again, which is not good or nor fun, because people get upset and pissed off because I lost all my data again. You said I would be good. Well, or I can just do like I did with my dad, install Linux on their system, which is what I'd rather do because it'd have a lot more support over the hardware. And it'd be a lot more secure, a lot better off and all. A lot less likely to catch a darn virus and whatnot, or malware or anything like that. A lot less likely to get it. I can install, if I install Mint on there, for example, they'll have all their office related stuff, their LibreOffice. I can sit there and toy with that to the heart's content and be for the most part free. It all depends. I'd rather go the Linux route method because, in all honesty, I'd rather turn a lot of folks on to that than the alternative, which is basically just them farting around with Windows, hoping that they can get by, forcing something to support when it doesn't want to support by default. It's like I tell folks, You're trying to force a square peg in a round hole. You just don't do that. Because at the end of the day, yeah, it lets you limp by, but the thing is, it's not supported. It's not going to work right. It's not just going to continue to do. Your best option is to install that Windows, what is it, long-term service or something like that. It's supported like 2032. But even then, what you going to do then? What you going to do in 2032? You're going to be screwed is what's going to happen. And you're probably screwed before then. Plain and simple. You're probably screwed even before then. So your best bet is just to go the route that's safe. Get official supported stuff. If you're going to stick with Windows, build you a computer like I did years ago. And when I built mine, I literally looked and compared I think it was the Tai Chi board or whatever it was, like whatever the top tier board was. And there was like 3 or 4 boards that were all the same. If you look at them, they look different. But if you looked at, for example, the chipset on them, if you looked at the features that they supported, if you looked at a lot of crap that was not needed, you could remove all that crap, and that's what you got. You got my board, which was the Aurora Elite, the 570, and well, the 570 Aurora Elite, it was from Gigabyte. Well, that was perfect for what I had. They didn't have the B550 series at the time. They just had basically the X570, and they had the 450, and then they were talking about, oh, the 3000 series or whatever wouldn't support. I think it was the 5000 series CPUs that was supposed to be in the works was not going to support anything lower than the 500 and something, or 500 series. I was like, well, crap. And see, like right now, you can still get or at least as far as I know, I haven't looked yet, but as far as I know, you can get a damn good motherboard for like $100 and something. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. The price hasn't went down by much, if not at all. Hasn't went down by much, if not at all, with this tariff and all going on. But you can get I think it's an Aurora, something like that. It's basically the exact same motherboard I got, but it's the B550 series, and it's still a damn good motherboard. In all honesty, I'm planning on getting one whenever I get a job again, or start getting some income coming in. But I've got to figure out something. Either I gotta put foot in the ass working on computers, or either I've got to do something. Because in all honesty, there's a absolute shit ton of computers here in Dooley County, but they're going to be old and not going to work with Windows 11. I guarantee it, they won't. Because if they would have already updated. Yep, I got to figure out something here in Dooley County. I got to figure out something. My dang nose. Allergies. I've been messing. My dang nose has been screwed up like all darn week. But I just got to figure out something. Because if I go the route of working on computers, I enjoy working on computers. I enjoy working with my hands. I enjoy doing things like that. But the thing of it is people are very frugal. They don't want to spend money. Now, if they got an option to spend like so much here, so much there, then they'll do that. That's the reason I can't ask too much. Because see, here's the thing about Dooley County. Dooley County is one of the most poor counties around. It's poorer than Chris County, way poorer than Houston County. And the reason is because Dooley County is nothing but farmland. Yeah, it's nothing but farmland. So, by default, you're screwed. Yeah, if you can get a darn clientele wrapped going, you could probably make some darn money. But a lot of darn folks out there ain't going to give a shit. They're gonna sit there and go, oh well, the software is free, so it means I shouldn't have to pay you. I mean, no. I still had to look everything up. I had to go through and install everything. I had to do all this work to get your stuff running. And people will get upset if you argue with them about stuff like that. And you can sit there and say, well, I did all this work and I deserve compensation for spending hours looking stuff up, spending a couple of hours or a few hours working on, let's see, how do I say it? Installing the program, getting hardware installed, diagnosing and working with errors if they occur, which, guess what, they can occur. But yeah, and see what sucks is there's a place up there in Warner Robins called Computer Dreams. They are good folks. They do some good work. But in order to go up there and get any hardware from them, it cost me probably $15-20 in gas. So I'd have to basically make one trip and basically sit there and say, hey, I need this sound card, I need this many sound cards. Can you cut me a deal? Yeah, I know they're old and they're funky and, they're kind of crappy, but I just need to know, if you'll set me up a deal, because it's going to cost me $25 just to go up there, and if I charge $25, because the dude's going to want money for that stuff, even though, as he calls it, it's junk, because guess what? It's old, it's obsolete, it's old hardware that nobody wants no more, or nobody needs. So it just sits there. Well, if I could give him a couple of bucks for it, it'd be great. It'd help me out, help him out, keep his lights on and all. Be good. Because see, even then, there's some stuff I can't even do with computers. Like, for example, I know how to update Windows, to Windows 11. That's a given. I knew how to do that. No problem. But what I didn't know how to do was do a PowerShell or a shell onto the Windows to make it look like Windows 7. He did. He knew how to do it. I didn't. Because he had done it for me in the past. And speaking of which, the guy gave me a computer. He told me it'd be like $50. He just gave it to me. He said, "Don't even worry about it. Just you've done a lot. You've helped me out a lot over the years. Um, you've always returned people back to me. And I told him about me losing my job, and he was like, "Wow, what happened?" And I was like, "Well, I could go through a whole laundry list of crap, but I'll be honest with you, they didn't let me even work for 3 days with them at a new job. It was the same company, it was just a different job title. But we'll get on all this before. But y'all have a good day. Most importantly, have a safe one, okay?